This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
The time is 8:45 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Lakshman Fonseca and read by Tilani Pires. Sri Lanka joins World Bank's Human Capital Project. Health Minister Keheli Rambukwala stresses that it is the duty of the people to protect from the COVID-19 virus. The Public Health Inspectors Union stresses the importance of stopping all public gatherings. The price of cigarettes is to be increased after the next budget. Nearly 100% ex-state workers are fully vaccinated. And on foreign news, oil giant Shell says it needs oil output to fund green shift. The government of Sri Lanka becomes the 82nd country to join the World Bank's Human Capital Project. The move will be committed to accelerate more and better investments in human capital, health, education and social protection. The Human Capital Project is a global front effort to accelerate investment in people for inclusive economic growth. It makes the case for investment in the human capital of the next generation, provides access to a program of measurement, research and analysis that helps to invest in and protect human capital and supports peer learning for countries. Sri Lanka's solid human development outcomes are reflected in the country's relatively high pre-COVID-19 Human Capital Index score, which is higher than the South Asia region and global averages. The World Bank is supporting the government of Sri Lanka to address its human capital challenges through targeted engagements across health, education and social protection, aligning with the government's national policy framework of vistas of prosperity and splendour. The Health Minister Keheli Rambukwala stresses that it is the duty of the people to protect from the COVID-19 virus. The patient with the COVID-19 symptoms should also consider controlling their travelling in order to spreading the virus for the community. If the public is behaving in a responsible manner, it is easy to control the pandemic within a short period of time. The Health Minister made these remarks at a meeting with the High Commissioner for Canada, David McKinnon, this evening. According to the High Commissioner, the Canadian government has taken measures to make vaccination card mandatory to enter public places. The Health Minister disclosed the Sri Lankan government is also studying to follow the procedure in due course. The chairman of the Public Health Inspectors Union, Upul Rohana, stresses the importance of stopping all public gatherings in order to further spreading of the COVID pandemic. He says the people are seen visiting all over the country with their kith and kin and acting negligently just after the country is reopened. PHI Union stresses that the trend will expose another wave of the COVID pandemic if it continues in the same manner. The union also requests the public to go out of the house to fulfill only their essential requirements. The National Authority on Tobacco and Alcohol, NATA chairman, Dr. Samadhi Rajapaksa says the price of cigarettes is to be increased after the next budget for the year 2022. Addressing a news briefing, he said the price hike will come into effect as a result of the price formula for cigarettes prepared by the authority. He said a price formula has been put forward in a bid to discourage smoking. Accordingly, Dr. Rajapaksa stated that the price of a cigarette would be increased by 5 rupees, while it to be increased by 20 rupees in another 5 years. He also said the price formula prepared by the authority has been handed over to the Health Minister and is to be presented to the Cabinet shortly. Over 60 individuals die of smoking in a day, while we lose 22 lives in a year, he added. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Sri Lanka Insurance, like a father, like a mother.
The Planters Association of Ceylon and the Plantation Human Development Trust announced that nearly 100% of estate workers have been fully vaccinated against COVID-19. Furthermore, progress has been achieved to fully inoculate over 95% of the targeted estate community across 7 regions. Plantation Human Development Trust is taking efforts to assist the government to vaccinate the most recent age group of 20 to 29 years old. It is reported that over 75% have been administered with the first dose for the age group. Regional plantation companies are working in close partnership with the Ministry of Health and provincial health authorities. It has facilitated to fast-track the rate of vaccinations for its estate workers and their families. The total number of people who died of the COVID-19 infection in Sri Lanka moved up with 15 more fatalities. It was confirmed by the Director General of Health Services. The new development has pushed the official death toll from the virus outbreak in the country to 13,806. The latest victims include 8 males and 7 females, the Department of Government Information said. According to official data, 12 deaths were reported among elderly people aged about 60 years. In addition, 3 people aged between 30 to 59 years have also fallen victim to the virus infection. That ends local news for now.
Just as love and freedom are important to a child, so too is knowledge. Encouraging their pursuit of knowledge is our most important responsibility as parents.
Sri Lanka Insurance Mini-Muthu education plans ensure a secure future for your child with a higher education fund, comprehensive protection and a range of additional covers. Mini-Muthu education plans for children who dare to dream. Sri Lanka Insurance, like a father, like a mother.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vidya Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The Planters Association of Ceylon and the Plantation Human Development Trust announced that nearly 100% of estate workers have been fully vaccinated against COVID-19. Furthermore, progress has been achieved to fully inoculate over 95% of the targeted estate community across 7 regions. Plantation Human Development Trust is taking efforts to assist the government to vaccinate the most recent age group of 20 to 29 years old. It is reported over 75% have been administered with the first dose for the age group. Regional plantation companies are working in close partnership with the Ministry of Health and provincial health authorities. It has facilitated to fast-track the rate of vaccinations for its estate workers and their families. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
This is Watchlight. On Watchlight tonight, thousands of Sri Lanka's northern fishermen are urging the government to make a final stand on the Indian trawler issue. They said the violation has damaged their fishing equipment and hindering their livelihood and challenging post-war resettlement efforts in the northern part of the country. They also point out Indian fishermen are practicing bottom trawling, a type of fishing net that's pulled along the sea floor, and it is an illegal technique to catch shrimp and bottom-dwelling fish. According to marine biologists, by the technique, they can catch a variety of ocean life that's usually thrown back into the water dead or dying, destroying the marine ecosystem in Sri Lanka. That came to you in Watchlight. Coming up, world news. World news headlines first. Oil giant Shell says it needs oil output to fund green shift. China's government orders 38 apps to rectify the excessive collection of personal information. The WHO has granted approval for emergency use to India's government-backed COVID-19 vaccine, Covaxin. The boss of oil giant Shell has insisted it can transition to net zero by 2050, but it will need the cash from its oil and gas business to pay for it. Ben van Beurden dismissed splitting its legacy oil and gas business from its renewables investment, a move urged by activist shareholder Third Point. Talking exclusively to the BBC, he said the company's plans for greener energy could only be funded by oil and gas. At this point in time, the cash comes from our legacy business, he added. Mr. Van Beurden was speaking at Europe's biggest oil refinery at Pernis near Rotterdam, a facility he plans to transform from refining petrol and diesel to making biofuels and hydrogen over the next decade. China's government orders 38 apps from a number of companies to rectify the excessive collection of personal information. The order marks the latest move in a continuing regulatory crackdown in China across a range of sectors and arrives days after China's Personal Information Protection Law, PIPL. In a statement posted on a social media account of the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology, the regulator found that the apps in question collected unnecessary personal information. It ordered the apps to rectify their practices before November 9th or face administrative penalties. The apps listed included a news app and music streaming app from Tencent, as well as the beauty-oriented social network Xiao Hongshu. The WHO has granted approval for emergency use to India's government-backed COVID-19 vaccine, Covaxin. The vaccine was approved in India in January, while the third phase of clinical trials was still underway, sparking some concern and criticism. Bharat Biotech, which makes the vaccine, has seen published data suggesting 78% efficacy. The WHO said in a tweet it believed the benefits far outweighed the risks. Some experts had pointed out to a fast-track approval and incomplete data, but the firm's chairman, Dr. Krishna Eller, said the vaccine was 200% safe. The WHO's expert panel, which authorizes emergency approvals, had asked for more data last month. While examining the application, Bharat Biotech had filed in July. Back to the world news headlines. Oil giant Shell says it needs oil output to fund green shift. China's government orders 38 apps to rectify the excessive collection of personal information. The WHO has granted approval for emergency use to India's government-backed COVID-19 vaccine, Covaxin. That ends World News. Development News. The flyover at the Kohuala Junction is now being constructed. Estimated cost of the project is 2,648 million rupees, and it is constructed with financial aid from the Hungarian government. The overhead bridge would be of 217.3 meters in length and 9.4 meters in width, overarching a 4-lane road connecting Nugegoda and Kalubovila controlled by traffic signals. The Road Development Authority RDA said the project is to be completed in 22 months. The RDA also said vehicular movement will be restricted at the Kohuala Junction on the Piliandala-Colombo main road until the 20th of December due to the construction of the flyover. Accordingly, traffic will be restricted for vehicles other than public transport buses. That came to you in Development News. Moving on with sports news. Australia boosted their hopes of qualifying for the men's T20 World Cup semi-finals with an 8-wicket thrashing of already eliminated Bangladesh in Dubai. Bangladesh were bowled out for just 73 and Australia chased the target in 6.2 overs to significantly improve their net run rate and climb above South Africa into second place in Group 1. Aaron Finch made 40 and David Warner 18 before Michelle Marsh pulled for 6 to win the game with 82 balls to spare. Adam Zampa took a career best 5 for 19. England, who topped Group 1, are still not guaranteed a semi-final spot, but it would require a huge defeat against South Africa. If South Africa beat England, then Australia must beat West Indies to progress to the Final Four. West Indies won the toss and decided to bowl first against Sri Lanka at the T20 World Cup match. The match is now being played at Sheikh Zayed Stadium, Abu Dhabi. Sri Lanka were 101 runs for 1 wicket in 12 overs a short while ago. That ends Sports News.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency through NSB U Trust for 6 months consecutively. Send more money and increase the chances of winning.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The National Savings Bank, NSB, says that it is the safest bank in the country which provides 100% government guarantee for the customers' deposits and interest thereon. The bank has been able to provide a wide range of innovative banking services for Sri Lankans by connecting with many global markets through smart technology. In a statement, NSB said the bank serves the nation and backs the worthy cause of nation building by contributing to general treasury by way of taxes, levies, fees and dividends and funding long-term development projects implemented by the government. The bank has also been able to provide several concessions to their customers under the guidelines of the government during the COVID-19 outbreak, such as debt moratorium, reduction of lending interest rates, and introducing the Special Deposit Accounts SDA, which offers a higher interest rate for the remittances received from abroad. That came to you in Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
And on economic news, speaking at a function held in Cinnamon Grand, Colombo yesterday, Program Manager Women in Work Sri Lanka, Sarah Twigg, highlighted that Sri Lanka lagged behind the globe in female involvement in the labour market. She said that more than 2/3 of women of working age are not in the labour market. Globally, less than half of the women of working age are involved in the labour market. Twigg highlights that family expectations were a large limiting factor in the empowerment of women. That was economic news.
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, brings Nanasa app, a trilingual educational mobile app for online learning with video-based lessons from grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with the Nanasa app. No subscription fees. Download via Google Play Store, App Store, Huawei Store or Windows. Dialogue, the future today.
Finally, the weather report. The Met Department says showers will occur at times in the western, Sabragamua and northwestern provinces and in Gaul and Mathura districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places elsewhere in the evening or night. Fairly heavy showers, about 75 millimeters, can be expected at some places in the Uva, Sabragamua, central and eastern provinces. That was the weather report.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, brings Nanasa app, a trilingual educational mobile app for online learning with video-based lessons from grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with the Nanasa app. No subscription fees. Download via Google Play Store, App Store, Huawei Store or Windows. Dialogue, the future today.
And now to in this news broadcast, the main points once again. Sri Lanka joins the World Bank's Human Capital Project. Health Minister Kehile Rabukwala stresses that it is the duty of the people to protect from the COVID-19 virus. The Public Health Inspectors Union stresses the importance of stopping all public gatherings. The price of cigarettes is to be increased after the next budget. Nearly 100% estate workers are fully vaccinated. And on foreign news, oil giant Shell says it needs oil output to fund green shift. That ends its news broadcast.